Howdy again, everyone. Today we have Gundam Converge number EX02, and it is the full armor unicorn Gundam in awake mode, and it came out in 2014. Some sort of logo there. Okay, two ways to display it. Basically the robot in a stand of weapons, or the robot wearing all the weapons. That's the impression I get. Some basic stats of the robot in the Gundam universe. Okay, and then a nice image there, legal jargon there. Alright. 2014 gum, looking pretty gross. Yeah, that is nasty. Bunch of bags to keep them all from scratching themselves up during shipping. Okay, and some instructions will come in handy. Before we do that, let's go into fandom and learn a little bit about this. Showed up in Unicorn Gundam, right? A little blurb about it. Okay. It's essentially, it's not necessarily armored so much, it's just got a bunch of weapons. And then later on I read that most of those weapons were destroyed by the Neo Zeong. Okay, so that's enough with that. Here's some images. Video games, model kits, everything. This is a really popular suit. So this looks like the stand. I guess we'll just start with that. So stand bits. Looks like weapon bits. This looks like the robot itself. Okay. And we have other armaments. Alright, maybe we should just start with the robot first. Break it apart, make sure there's no sticky paint. Yeah, there you go. Standard details on the feet, very nicely done. It's like a matte dark blue, almost purplish actually. And then the body is a matte white, there's some gunmetal in the knees, and then we have a bunch of metallic aqua greenish. Actually it's more blue, aqua blue. Even the little dots up here. Alright, and then the torso here has gray, and then the neck looks like it's black. So yeah, a lot of colors there, a lot of details. You know, there's panels everywhere, some openings. Something must probably stick in there. So it's well done, considering how short this is, how much detail they've managed to jam in here. Unfortunately, almost all converges. There's no torso movement, there's no leg movement. It's just, this is all one chunk of plastic, you know. Alright, well, let's go into the hands here. This one has a gun-holding hand, but you know, I don't think this thing moves. I think this might be part of that molding. But look at the fine lines of metallic paint going on in those recesses. Really cool. Alright, there's also a hole there. This arm, again, I don't see a break there whatsoever in the hand. But that's rare. Almost all converges, at least that hand usually moves. But maybe it's because the weapons are so heavy, they decided to just make it one piece, possibly? I don't know. Or if you guys have this figure, please leave a comment and let me know if those things move, if they do. Alright, so the head is nice. There's nice translucent green eyes with a little black around them. The chin is a metallic green. There's also a different metallic green up in that sensor, or whatever that is. The cannons have some gunmetal color in there, and then yeah, nice molded details. And this is great, it tells you the chassis number, RX0 or 0. Now these are the opened antennae, and they're nice metallic gold. Alright, so that was a pretty tight fit. Whoa, this is it. And look at that. There's actually molded in text right there. Look at this text, it's so small. I mean, my fingernail, right? Very cool. That's a really cool head on this thing. I'm afraid to put that head on now because the antennae are brittle, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Alright, so we have a backpack with two beam saber handles. It's just, they're not separate pieces though, but look at all the details, some thrusters, they have a little depth to them, and there's just a big round peg for that. Yeah, that's a nice tight fit. That's not going to fall out anytime soon. So I guess you could put the weapon in any side, and it's just, well, you know what, this is not a standard looking unicorn rifle. I guess it is kind of sort of, but it seems really shortened. Granted, this is a deformed toy, so they chose to deform that rifle quite a bit, but I feel like they have other rifles that are not so short. Alright, and then this side we can put in this nice translucent purple like spear slash hatchet naginata. I don't know what the official name of this thing is, but that works pretty well, and you can hold it pretty much horizontally. That's cool. It's a purple, whereas that's like bluish. Alright, now I guess I'll pop the head on. The head you can actually rotate a little bit left and right. So far it's so good, looking nice, and it'll stand on its own. Alright. So now let's take a look at these shields here. So these things have nice printing on them, some sort of unicorn logo. These things I think are identical. This gunmetal in the middle, matte white, this aqua color, metallic, and then they have these Gatling guns on them. Some molded details, and you can actually see, you know, air passing through the shield, so it can look through that shield if it wanted to. That is really neat, and so I'm assuming those things just peg right into the forearms like this. Might be easier to do off the torso. Gotta wiggle that in. Alright, that one's good. Alright. So he's getting armored up. Armored. Now this one is closed, this shield, but it still has the unicorn printing on it. And then, yeah, the opening and pretty much everything else is just a closed version. I don't know. Obviously you could put it on the arm, so I'm just wondering if it actually, no, it cannot go into that peg hole in the back. Alright, well, we can segue to this backpack here. So this backpack now has like a crazy frame on it, which can hold additional stuff. I'm assuming actually this thing may go here. Yeah, so this can go a little bit. I have to assume it has to go in this position with that oriented properly, because you see these like magazines, these drum mags. If I put it this way, oh, you know, I'm mistaken. It's a good thing I try these things. I guess it will go in the up position if you wanted it to. Alright, so now that's going to replace the other backpack, and that's how you would have those displayed. Now, it looks like we have some slots, and we have these crazy bazooka looking things. Little barrel depth there, some sort of ammo maybe, some red dots. I don't know if those are ammo or what. This one's a little bit bent. Might want to put that in hot water. But there's a handle here, so out of curiosity, well, that's kind of weird, right? Maybe it's a left and right thing. No. I guess you can actually have it. Yeah, alright. It is a left and right specific weapon, so let me get this one off and we'll display it with these giant bazookas. I see. So now the issue is the bazooka's colliding with the backpack that I put on. This side actually seems okay. I think, oh, it's because this one's going to the outside of the shoulder. This one is not. I guess you can, yeah, alright, you can bend it outside there. There's a little more collision going on here, but you can bend it around. So, yeah, if you wanted to, you could have it wielding those, but they're kind of canted inwards, right? Because of the backpack. Of course, you can just remove this backpack, and maybe now they're a little bit more spread out and forward looking, right? So maybe you want to have the small backpack for that scenario. Alright, now the question is, can we still have the Gatling guns? No, you cannot. The Gatling gun shield will collide with these ammo boxes. Alright, well, still interesting. What I'm debating is, what the heck are these for? This tiny little peg on there. You would think that they might belong on this thing, but I don't see an opening on this anywhere. Alright. Let's get back to this backpack thing here. Oh, I put it in upside down. Is there a little peg hole for these here? No, but I see two pegs here and two holes there. So I think the bazookas now, this thing goes into that hole with the ammo on the outside, I would assume. Yeah, so that works. That's actually a pretty good fit too. Where's the other one? Yeah, that's actually a really tight fit. Well done, well done. Alright, so that is there. Put this back on here. Oh, I was wondering if those red little ammo things go inside that shield. But still, no, I don't see anywhere for that to go in there. Alright, so now these little thrusters, nicely molded of course. Not much extra paint though. And the thrusters are really shallow, unfortunately. So that's too bad. Alright, well, these must go onto these things here. I don't know if there's an up or down. No, it doesn't seem to matter. I see. I don't know if, well, it's kind of, is it going to collide with that shield? No, it's touching it, but this side is definitely having a hard time getting in, I think. Nope, I'm mistaken again. They don't really actually seem level. Maybe I gotta twist. Yeah, well, alright, we're gonna just continue on. Possibly you could boil that backpack in hot water and twist it straight or something. And it works as a nice kickstand though. You don't, right? Yeah, these are still a mystery, so I'm gonna look at the instructions. What's going on here? What are these for? Oh, here, they go into the legs, those holes in the legs. Alright, that makes sense. It's only red on one side, so I assume the red goes up front. I guess this guy could still hold this machine gun as well. Now it's having, well, it's kind of colliding with this optic here, or whatever, that drum magazine thing. Unless it goes under. I guess if you put it on before the shield, yeah, it'll work. Alright, so basically the only leftover part is this extra, the backpack, you know, the standard backpack. But you can pretty much have all these weapons on this character. It's interesting, the bottom of the hand isn't hollow. It's actually blanked off. Alright, it would have been cool if there was a stand, but there's no peg hole, so you can't even do that. I guess you could maybe drill one right there in this gray area, right? It seems like this guy wants to fly. Alright, let's see what this stand is. Yeah, I don't get the impression that the Gundam actually flies on it. It just stands in front of it, or maybe stands on the thing. Okay. So the ramp is in the front, it looks like. And then these things, this goes here. This goes here. And then this thing here, let's see, these 4 teeth go into this thing like that. That is the stand, but you can make the stand vertical like that, and the Gundam is supposed to stand right there. Alright, well, let's make all this stuff, take it all off here. I'll leave the ammo there, on the legs at least. Alright, let's see. You could actually put the ammo from the legs right in these things, but it's just, I don't want to have holes in the thing's legs, so I'm going to leave them. Looks like the rifle's supposed to go here somewhere. Or not. It's saying it goes in here. That is a mystery. Oh, the handle. The way they drew the instructions is not obvious. Alright, so the handle of the rifle goes there. One of these shields goes here. And the other shield goes there. Well, it might be easier to put this thing here first. Okay, so the handle of this goes here. Alright, so this rocket booster goes in there. And then the backpack with this frame. It's pretty much hidden away. I guess. And the bazookas, where do those get stored? On the back. I see. Okay, well, it's a pretty elaborate, weapons rack. It's on all sides of it, so And then the robot's just supposed to stand right there, I guess. Let's get this thing spinning here. Get a different angle. So look, this compared to some of the robots, but I'm gonna max it out again. But we'll just do this for now. So I have a red version. This is unit number 163. Oh, this thing's spinning way too fast. There we go. 163 in the Converge lineup there. We have the Unicorn in the non-destroy mode. This is number 7. Pretty early in the Converge lineup. And then this is some sort of core. I think it might be a core. It says 03 Phoenix RC. I forget what that note means, but clearly it's quite different. It's silver and red, and it's got cool red translucent eyes. The antennae are totally different, so it's not quite a unicorn. I guess maybe it's just called a Phoenix. This is an RXO, but it's the Perfectibility, which is supposed to be the loaded out max version. And now that has a claw hand and a crazy railgun on the other arm. So the fandom mentioned Kashiatra. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Kashiatra? I haven't seen Unicorn, so I don't know. But this is EX01. So basically it came before this one we're talking about today. And then here's the Neo Zeong that I guess totally messed this guy up. This is EX15. And yeah, you can see it's basically a Sinanju inside of a giant suit again. I mean, Gundams are giant suits to begin with. Now I gotta close these out, they're annoying. Alright, so this thing's so huge. I did add some decals to this silver one. Some 144 scale Gundam decals. So essentially, this one looks pretty much like, well, the hands are different actually. If you look, let's pause this thing. Let's stop this thing. So looking at these first two guys here, you can just see these hands can be removed and twisted and stuff, but look how small they are, right? Whereas the hands on this, they're huge. But you see, this is the rifle I'm used to. It's longer and more realistic looking compared to that really truncated one. It's not even gun metallic. So they definitely changed the mold around. It's not the same figure. I assume because it's just more reliable when you have that much junk on it. Maybe they just have the hand part of the forearm. Although they could have done it. They could have had it as a separate piece. I mean, this one has giant hands too, but the hand is a separate piece. Although the hand is part of the rifle, so that's another issue. With the two open hands like that, you can swap the rifle and that beam sword looking halberd, whatever the thing is. Alright, well, I'm going to get this thing back to the way I like it. So you can also use this horizontally. The figure will stand there, but unfortunately this hole doesn't go all the way through, so there's nowhere to really store this extra backpack unless you drill that hole out. Maybe I'll do that later. But just to show you, you can take the maxed out guy, and these thrusters will actually rest kind of sort of in these grooves here, right? So that's the intention there, and you can still put, you know, some stuff on those side pegs there. So that's it there. Yeah, it's a pretty cool figure and all. I only wish it had maybe another attachment point on this stand and a hole in the actual figure so the thing could be flying. It's a space robot, right? Alright, well, anyways, thanks for watching today, and maybe I'll pick up another unicorn another time. There's a bunch of different unicorns here in the Converge series, so I like them. Alright, see you guys, bye.